Thanks for the super chat, asshole. I love taking my anger out on haters. Hey guys.
Hey Amber.
They saw my tum-tum. The moon landing didn't happen. Are you actually gonna wear that?
Okay, fine. You're the queen of lolcows. Well done, you.
Did she spray Pam on the food?
That ass, though. I am the worst YouTuber ever. You watching this, you can't be a surgeon.
Oh, this was the you can't be a surgeon thing. I remember this when people are like, who are you to tell people what they can and cannot be? Like, I can't with her.
Hey folks, what's good? I'm Professor Dietz, and today we're going to be continuing our history lessons with Destiny. Now, this is the 6th video in my series, covering the time in 2023 that Destiny came back to YouTube to share her side of the story about her relationship with Amber. The first 5 videos in this series covered pretty much their entire relationship, right up to the end of 2016. Just before the breakup. Now, we left off in the last video with Amber realizing that Destiny was totally just slipping out of her grip, and her pre-breakup routine was in full effect. You know, we saw her love bombing Destiny with all those Christmas presents,
But also simultaneously
trying to control every single moment of Destiny's life. It definitely wasn't going well. So, in this video, we're going to start Destiny's version of the end. You know, her video titled The Truth of the Breakup. But before we do that, just a couple of my usual notes. As always, I did cut out some of the dead air and the long pauses just to speed things up a little bit. I also took the time to insert some footage from Amber's channel that aligns with whatever Destiny was talking about, which is part of the reason why, I've been splitting these videos up into multiple parts. Between the extra footage and my commentary, it's been a journey. But as always, I'm going to put pretty comprehensive timestamps in the description if anyone wants to skip to specific parts of the video. And yes, of course, we will have a Corgi Cam at the end to cleanse our palates. All right, let's let Destiny take over the storytelling and dive into the very last days of her relationship with Amber. 78,718 views at time of filming, and it was uploaded on May 23rd, 2023. This series started on May 8th with the first cup of tea. So we had May 8th, May 15th, May 16th, and now we are at The Truth of the Breakup, uploaded on May 23rd of 2023. So Destiny did get these out in a relatively quick fashion. That means Amber actually still hadn't uploaded or done any live streams in response to this by the time Destiny got this out on the 23rd. In fact, I think Destiny does another couple of live streams before ALR does her response video, which was called We Need to Talk on June 3rd. So yeah, Destiny was on a roll. Comments, I'm sure comments were turned on. They've been on for the last few. Yes, we have comments.
Hey guys, so
Hey.
I started to do 2017 and realized that just January alone is pretty thick because that's when a lot of stuff happened. So I think I'm just gonna make just January as a part. It probably won't be as long as like the 2-parter from before, but there's a lot going on in this video and you guys want a video, so
You know what? I appreciate that. I do. Those other ones were so long. By the time we got to the end, I was exhausted. I do appreciate the fact that Destiny is only doing January in this because it is the breakup, right? We want to go a little bit more in depth. We want a little bit more of the information.
just gonna get it over with. All right.
Gross, Destiny.
All right, so in the start of 2017, one thing I want to mention before I get into this, when I said that Amberlynn and my mom got into an altercation, Amberlynn didn't hit my mom.
Oh, that's not what you said, Destiny. That is absolutely not what you said in the last video. And I remember it specifically because I talked about it for a minute and how different your stories were.
She didn't get the chance, basically. She kind of just, I don't know if my mom, slapped her, did whatever to her, but Amberlynn just essentially fell to the floor.
I don't know, Destiny. I don't know, because I'm sorry, I just don't see Amber doing that. I guess, once again, I don't live on her walls and I didn't see what happened. I was not there. So obviously, I don't know the truth. But this is very sus to me. It really is. Because why would you mistakenly say in the last video that they were, I believe the exact words that Destiny used were, they were slapping around at each other.
They're kind of slapping around at each other.
You don't just use that term, right? Am I wrong about that? Like, I would never say or even hint at they were both hitting each other if they weren't both hitting each other. Like, that is very strange that she would do that and now be taking it back. I wonder, did ALR call Destiny up and threaten her in any way? You better take it back. Amber made Destiny take back the McNugget thing. We learned that, right? So why would we think there'd be a world in which Amber wouldn't make Destiny take something else back? Even now, even in 2023, I still think there could be things that Amber would hold over Destiny's head. Amber is that kind of person. To hold on to those cell phones, to hold on to information that she will, potentially have to hold over someone's head, to use it against them in the future. She banks all sorts of information on people for any moment in time. I don't know. It's just a theory. Certainly not a fact. But I do wonder about it. I'll let her keep talking.
And just took it.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Okay, and sorry, that's all she had to say. Why would Destiny take it back and not say more? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she would have clarified more about what she had said last time and why she had made that mistake. Why there was this slip of the tongue, if that's what it was. She just got really awkward there and silent, right? You all saw that. Destiny was holding something back, and it looked like whatever was on her mind, she just didn't say it. And she even looked pretty nervous. I'm going to play a little bit of that clip again without sound so you can focus just on what she was doing, because she was fidgeting, right? She was pulling at her sweatshirt and touching her face. So she was definitely holding something back. What was it? What did she not say here? I wonder. I really do.
Talked about in January, RedBox movies, we were getting them too often and paying outrageously for them.
When Amber quit her job, do you guys remember when she was talking about how she didn't want to be sitting around for hours and hours a day? She wasn't that kind of person, and that was one of the reasons why she quit her government job, because she was sitting too much. And now look, she's not at her job, and all she's doing is sitting and watching movies and paying so much money for them. That was wild. I remember Destiny complaining about how much they spent on those movies. Good news, guys. MichaelBePetty came through, and I found him reacting to this moment when she announced that she quit her job. Let's have a listen.
Ugh, I hate this. I hate this so much.
You love
Sitting
this, girl.
for
You're
12
like
hours
smiling
a day,
about it.
10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day is not good for you.
It's like, I can't, dude. Like, literally all you do is sit. And you quit this job and all you did was sit. Like, I can't. As a bigger gal, as an obese girl, sitting all day is not good for you. Neither is eating all day either, but you do that.
You can get blood clots, etc., etc.
Blood clot, etc., etc., blood clots, etc., etc.
And I started noticing that I was getting heart palpitations.
Palpitations.
My anxiety was through the roof at work. I was getting anxiety attacks.
Probably because you're shit at your job, and so you're uncomfortable all the time. You're trying to and you're probably worried that they're gonna finally get an inkling of just how shit you are at your job and fire you.
I'd have to run to the bathroom, and I would just sit in a stall and cry sometimes. I was above and beyond quality and quantity, so I was good at what I did. But my anxiety was really bad, and I started noticing that my feet was swelling really bad.
Then get some compression stockings and call it a day, dude.
Legs started swelling. My hands, I noticed I was puffier in the face. And honestly, I can turn this to, it's because I'm fat, because of my sodium intake, because of this.
Oh, she was sodium sensitive even back then.
that. And I started noticing I was just cramping really bad from sitting 12 hours a day. And I know a lot of people in the comments, I'm just going to say it before you guys say it, a lot of people are like, well, what about cops? They're up and they're doing things all day. And firefighters, I know, and I'm so grateful for them. But I feel like not everyone can do certain jobs. Like me, I can't be a firefighter.
What the fuck? Why is she? What? How did we get from you sitting at your desk job all day to firefighters and cops? I'm so confused right now. Like, what is she talking about?
For me, I can't do a job where I sit for 12 hours a day.
That's literally what her job is now. Is like sitting all day.
And trust me, more than anything, I wish I was able to stand up at my job.
So what would her job be then? That she would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause she wouldn't be able to work retail. She wouldn't be able to stand all day and work retail. So it's like, what's the job for you, Amber?
She did a DVD haul. I don't even have any of those DVDs. I don't think, keep any of them. She did show the Married with Children collection. I want to say we got that so cheap. We got it at Ollie's for literally $1 a season.
Yeah, I can remember them going through those dollar bins, just where you dig through DVDs, and they're all the ones that nobody else wanted to buy. So they were just so inexpensive. And they were so desperate to watch things and to fill the time. They didn't enjoy each other's company, or rather, Destiny didn't enjoy Amber's company. Amber was trying desperately to get Destiny back at this point, but not trying in any of the right ways, that's for dang sure.
The only DVD collection I can think I have, because I don't even have like my Star Wars like VHS tapes or anything. I didn't have many of those on DVD, but the only collection I have now of DVDs is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Clearly, I'm a big fan.
That's my dog again. Papa. Carter. Say hi.
She talked a lot about us watching DVDs. I know this stuff is boring, but it's just what I wrote down.
Just because you wrote it down doesn't mean you need to say it. Just putting that out there. It's all right. We'll get there, right? We're gonna get there soon. Come on.
I don't really rent DVDs anymore or anything like that. I have pretty much every streaming service now, and I have YouTube Premium.
Ooh, YouTube Premium.
Let's see. And then Amberlynn also makes a video about Trisha Paytas, like her wanting to see her. So let's see.
Amberlynn and all of the problematic YouTubers that she loves, right?
Who's your favorite YouTuber right now? Definitely Shane Dawson. I'm loving his series. Who is your dream YouTuber to collab with? I have two. Learning to Be Fearless and Shane Dawson. Like Jeffree Star, whoa. Trisha Paytas. I'll just meet them all. If I ever met David Dobrik, that would be insane. Probably never gonna happen. Like, we're on two completely different levels. I mean, but so is me and Jeffree Star. And like, I'm just like some loser like here in Kentucky while everyone else is just like amazing. I'm listening to Trisha Paytas' podcast. Jeff is on this episode.
She was obsessed with Trisha Paytas. I don't know like when that obsession started, but I don't know. She talked about her all the time, and I know she watched her a lot. She mentions the thing where I got called an it at a restaurant again. I already addressed this before, but that did not happen. I did not get called an it. And when she's explaining it in this part, she makes an excuse that I wasn't there to hear it. So, who's to say that actually happened?
You don't live on my walls. You weren't there, Destiny. You weren't there to hear the waitress call you an it. Come on. Everyone knows that didn't happen. Everyone, including Destiny. Amber just tells all these stories. They're lies for effect, right? For followers, for views. But they're so bad. You know, all these lies serve to do is to fuel the hatred. But she's never learned that. To this day, she doubles down, triples down, quadruples down on every single lie she tells. Then she retells it the wrong way, making it even more obvious that it's a lie. Just think about everything she said about her relationship with Emily, about what happened to Rarity. She tells different stories every single time.
This is when she started reading a lot of y'all's Snapchats, like opening them in videos, and how she didn't want to be on a schedule with vlogging.
When has she ever wanted to be on a schedule in a real way? You know, she has said it over and over and over again, but she doesn't actually want to be. Like right now in the LCU, I can't imagine how much she hates having to show up to work. I think she gets one day off. I actually don't even know, but I do know it's almost every day. Like, could you imagine a year ago picturing Amber being able to show up every single day to her job? She took her monetization so much for granted. She really did. And now look at where she is. She has to show up to work or she breaks contract and she loses her job and she doesn't get paid. That is tough for Amber Reid. Is she even trying to get her monetization back? Because she said she was going to show back up February 2nd, wasn't it? She made that announcement that she was going to come back to her own channel at this point over a week ago. She still hasn't done that. So is she desperately trying to get it back and can't? Or did she lock herself into some contract with Keemstar that she can't get out of right now? What's going on there? I'm curious. Anyway, that's off topic. Let's get back to the video at hand.
I literally wrote, this stuff is pretty boring. It got really boring in the beginning of January. She started discussing a lot of the hate that she started getting. She talked about how we do a lot of date nights and stuff.
Was that true? Let's hear it, Destiny.
I wouldn't really call it date nights. I would call it Amberlynn making a plan for the day and doing it.
That's sad. I mean, what I'm laughing about is the fact that Amber was getting online and trying to convince her audience that her relationship was so good and they were going on so many dates and they loved each other so much, when the reality was that Destiny was trying to find the moment to break up with her. You know? It's just very sad. It's sad in the way that I don't really feel bad for Amber because of who she is as a person, but if it were almost anybody else, I would feel sad for them.
She said that her favorite date night, though, was to stay in bed and cuddle. We, like, 98% of the time never did that. We were always having to go somewhere.
The way that Destiny talks about that, she didn't want to be doing either of those things, right? She didn't want to be staying in bed cuddling, and she didn't want to be going somewhere with Amber either. This relationship is just, it's so over and should have been a while ago.
Like, we never stayed home, really. She said something about us paying for the U-Haul when we moved to Kentucky. I stated that before. We did not pay for that U-Haul.
Yeah, there she is once again, doubling down on one of her lies.
Her foster mom did.
And why couldn't she just say that? I don't get it. It's not just the constant lying. It's the lying about things she really doesn't need to lie about. The fact that her foster mother paid for that U-Haul isn't a problem. People need help all the time. People get into spots and they need a little support. And Amber had that. That's actually a really nice thing. If she had told the truth about that, I think it would have been better for her because it's the story of a person, her foster mom, who still cared about her enough to help support her and to help her make this move. But no, Amber can't tell that truth. I'm not sure why. It's like her pride, her need to make up stories and a narrative, when the truth actually was kind of nice.
There's a video of me trying to knock down the icicles. And, like, in the video that I watched of it, it is PR positive, by the way. I will try to remember to mention them in the description.
Okay, that's nice. Give credit where credit's due. People be archiving.
It, like, zooms in on me missing every time I try to hit an icicle. I'm only 5 foot, so...
And of course, Amber would do that, right? She loves when other people do things that aren't perfect. and then putting that on her channel so that she can just put other people down. And that way she feels better about everything she does and her life and who she is as a person. Ugh, it's so gross.
Got a little offended. Not really, but...
No, you did, and that's okay because she was showing you doing something that you weren't doing very well, which had no business being on her channel, you know? She didn't need to put that there. Being short is not a crime.
That's why I couldn't reach the icicle. And it says, at this point in time, that's when I had started to make a couple of friends myself at work. There was a few times that it got like paused when I'd make funny faces at the camera. I made funny faces at the camera because it's awkward. You know, like you can just be like minding your own business and then boom, camera in the face.
Yeah, no consent ever from Amber. All she does is shove a camera in everybody's faces without ever asking if they're okay with it. Even kids. She claims that the people that were on her channel always had given consent, but they always come back. Either, in Destiny's case sometimes, she's like, yeah, I knew she was filming, but I didn't realize she was posting all of it to her channel. Or then there's Beck, who didn't want to be on the channel and made that clear, right? But Amber made them do it anyway.
She talks about liking my long hair because I was getting a haircut in one of the videos. I wanted it really short, like it is now, but I never got to that point for a while. And then her showing the haircut that I got in that video, I noticed from behind that they messed up, like right here in the middle of my head. There was like a shorter spot, like they did it and then they didn't finish around it. I don't know, it looked weird.
Come on, pull it back. You can do it. Get back to the breakup.
She showed us eating at Olive Garden with Sharla and Jalissa. Sharla making her cheese ball. Cheese ball's so good. Amberlynn made a soup and she counted the calories that were in the soup. I don't know. She starts talking about her poems and her writing. And then I wrote this down when we were at PF Chang's with Sharla and Jalissa. That was before this, but it was like a flashback.
Yes. This is the infamous, there are girls taking photos in front of a rock wall, or whatever she said. I'll find it. Here it is.
There are girls outside right now, sorry, that are taking selfies in front of a rock wall.
We all read our fortune cookies, and mine said, new changes coming soon.
A challenge will bring forth your finest abilities. Freaky Friday. What is yours?
I don't know already, but it says,
I know, but what do you think it means?
I don't know. It says, welcome the good change coming into your life soon.
Maybe it's just like, you know, new beginnings.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
See.
And I put, i.e. dumping Amberlynn.
i.e. dumping Amberlynn.
Last time it said something about a new home. I took a picture of it on Snapchat, and then we got our apartment like that week.
I'll tell you what.
I'm pretty sure everyone at that table, except Amberlynn, knew exactly what that meant.
At this point in time, things had been rocky for a little while, as y'all know. Amberlynn starts talking about the story that she's been writing for a long time. It's over like 200 pages. She vlogged this purse, then she ended up buying it. I actually went to Walmart yesterday, like went into it, and it was not that bad. That was like the first time that I had been in there in a long time. The one close to us, and it wasn't that bad. It was insanely hot in there though.
I'm taking a break. I can't. I have not really heard about the breakup yet. Please. Please. Okay, friends, I'm back. I had a little break. I feel like I can handle more of this. So hopefully Destiny's got some interesting things to share with us about the breakup.
Let's see. Talking about getting rid of necklaces just to buy more. She started talking about having anxiety attacks at work. I only ever remember her having an anxiety attack at work, like, I don't know, like a couple times. It was not like an everyday thing towards when she was quitting.
I feel like everyone knows she was lying about all of that, right? Everyone knew she just wanted to quit because A, she's lazy and doesn't want to work, and B, she just wanted to do YouTube. She didn't want to have to go to a job. She wanted to be, her own boss, where she could take as many days off as she wanted. And that's what she was about to do. But she was also going to have lots and lots of excuses in order to do so. So we got the anxiety. We got the standing for 12 hours. We got the back and the bulge disc or whatever it was at that time. The laundry list of ailments came out so that she could have a good reason to quit her job.
I started getting really bad cramps, etc., etc. And all of this, I was trying to hide the best I could via YouTube. The people around me, I didn't really want anyone knowing that I was hurting. And it's kind of weird to say because, sitting 12 hours a day is not, a lot of people would love to do that. I just didn't. And having a slip disc.
All right, a slip disc, not a bulge disc. It was a slip disc this time.
When you're sitting on certain chairs, it hurts. I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, Amberlynn quit because she couldn't fit in the chairs. No, I could fit in the chairs. I could fit on all the chairs. And on top of all the mental and the physical that I was experiencing, I had animals at home. I had animals that I wanted to love and I wanted to take care of. They did not deserve being home alone for 12, 10, 13, 14 hours alone.
I didn't understand why she was quitting the job. Like, she literally just, like I said, we went to the new building and she just was not having it. I don't know what it was.
But Amber told everyone else that you wanted her to quit. Did you know she said that, Destiny? Were you aware that she got on her channel and said that you wanted her to quit?
I think really she just didn't want to work.
It didn't feel right. I was in pain, and being home, I can get up, I can walk, I can move. And when I'm up and cleaning, like, I clean a lot. I don't know what it is, like, or, taking Twinkie out, etc., etc.
I think she just wanted to do the YouTube, and that's just what she decided to do.
This part gets me. A lot of people are like, Amberlynn, you quit your job so you can just be fucking lazy.
Point blank, period.
I said I thought the job would be perfect for her. It didn't require a lot of anything, and it was really easy money because she was good at it. It wasn't hard work, and it made good money, and you were just sitting.
We were paid good, let me tell you.
Like, it wasn't strenuous, it wasn't nothing. I don't know. She made up a lot of excuses of why she wanted to quit her job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Destiny and I are seeing the exact same thing about all of this. I think we're all in agreement, right?
And she stated, I said that I was like, yeah, you need to quit. Just do YouTube and stay home. I did not tell her that straight up. I told her that she's an adult and it's clearly her choice.
First of all, thank you for answering my question, Destiny. I'm glad that you addressed it. And second of all, of course you didn't tell her that. Oh my God. Why? Why does she have to lie about literally everything? Is there anything that she doesn't lie about? I guess she really does like pesto. She didn't lie about that, so there you have it. Amber didn't lie about every single thing.
She's grown. It's her choice. I shouldn't have a say in if she wants to keep her job or not.
Yeah, and that is nowhere near the same thing as saying you wanted her to quit. No, it's not even the same ballpark.
She was making decent money on YouTube, though, I can say.
I get money from YouTube. I get money from you now.
I don't remember exactly how much, but she was making pretty decent money.
How much does Amberlynn really make on YouTube? And I feel like that's not really an appropriate question to ask. I will let you know I do get paid very well on YouTube, and I'm very grateful for that.
I went to the ER, And this is where they told me it was probably stress-induced.
I mean, come on, of course. It's Amberlynn. You're still with this woman who you really just can't stand anymore, but you haven't broken up with. I mean, she's acting her worst at this point, right? With the manipulation and the love bombing, and then just being a full-blown toddler and crying and yelling and talking over you. Ugh, it's gotta be incessant. And while you're dealing with all that, you're in love with somebody else. Not to mention the fact that you've been eating alongside Amber, and anyone who lives with Amber gains weight. So your body has just really been going through it, and you need to get healthier. So yeah, you end up in the hospital when you're dating Amberlynn. Crystal had really bad health problems and was always going to the doctor. Now Destiny's been going to the ER several times throughout your relationship. And look at Beck. They were sick during your relationship and still continue to be sick.
I don't know why she doesn't mention that, because it was literally in the paperwork that I got back.
We all know why she doesn't mention that.
And she starts talking about how I needed to I had referrals and stuff to follow up with people. I didn't have health insurance at the time. I literally just lost my health insurance because my dad was going through a divorce. So health insurance was just I didn't have it.
Yeah, that is really tough. I mean, this is America after all, and health insurance here, if you aren't getting it through a job, it's basically inaccessible. It is so expensive. And it's so expensive to the point of it's almost not worth it for some people. They'd rather be put into debt if and when something happens to them rather than go into debt ahead of time because they can't afford it either way. Ugh, I can't get started on this. It makes me so angry.
Let me see. And then I also put, this says, Amberlynn was not fired from her job. She just never went back. That's literally it. She literally had me take her home. We stayed home for a day, and then she literally just never came back. I know that our boss did call her and try to talk to her about, like, oh, you know, like, what's wrong? Why don't you want to stay? And she gave her a chance to, like, make up her mind, but she obviously made up her mind.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's Amber's MO. Like, that's literally how she quit her job at the assisted living facility, because she didn't actually quit. She was fired because she just stopped going. I don't know if it's just some fear of confrontation or she literally just doesn't give a shit. You know, she doesn't care that she should be telling them and giving her notice, but she just doesn't care, couldn't care less, and just stops going. I mean, that's probably more likely the scenario rather than the fear of confrontation, because come on. Amber doesn't seem to be too afraid of confrontation. Look at her right now on the LCU. That's all she does. It also is just another one of those things that makes me so angry because that is so rude to do. You know, this has been your employer. They have been paying you and offering you your living, and you don't have the decency to tell them that you're quitting. You just stop showing up. That is just wildly rude behavior.
After she quit, she really wanted me to, when I went on lunch, because we only got a 30-minute lunch, we got 2.
This is when Amber starts making Destiny call her every time she's on a break. So she's like not allowed to sit with friends and have a conversation and have an actual break from work.
2 15s and a 30. And during lunch, she wanted me to sit in my car and call her and just talk to her on my 30 minutes of lunch. Which wouldn't have been a big deal, but I don't know, like, it was like I had to, you know? I didn't have a choice. Like, I couldn't be like, oh, you know, actually I wanted to hang out with so-and-so during lunch, you know, whatever. No, that was not an option.
Not allowed, not an option. But Amber's not controlling whatsoever, right? Please.
You'll see that coming in a minute. Let me see. I had friends that I wanted to hang out with, but Amberlynn only really wanted me to sit with either with Sharla or be in my car and talk to her. That was literally it. Like, I could go on lunch with Sharla. Me and her could talk. Or we would end up calling Amberlynn whatever anyway.
Yeah, because Sharla was reporting back to Amberlynn. Amber knew that whatever Destiny was talking to Sharla about, Sharla was going to go ahead, turn right around, and tell Amber all the things. And I bet she had a list on her phone or a little notebook that Amber bought her. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
She started doing a lot of weigh-ins here because she got a new scale. And I also put, at this point in time, Dana and I hadn't spoken since, like, before Thanksgiving. And then we still weren't talking at this point. had not spoken since Thanksgiving. So this is where it's going to get interesting for y'all.
We've been waiting, Destiny. We have been waiting ever so patiently.
Because y'all have thought different for so long. She hit 30,000 followers. Sharla started calling out a lot and hanging out with Amberlynn when she would call out. I put Amberlynn is probably 68% soup because she's recorded so much soup.
Ew. But back to the Sharla thing. God. And Destiny called Sharla a pot stirrer just earlier. And was it in the last video or this one? I can't remember anymore. But so interesting. What power did Amber have over Sharla? For Sharla to be risking her job like that, you know, to be calling out sick just to go hang out with Amber, that's a really big deal. So what was going on there? I have to say, I was never the biggest fan of Sharla. She kind of gave me the pot stirrer vibes to begin with, and never really authentically friendly vibes either. Although I can't really speak too much to Sharla. I can only speak to my feeling, like the gut feeling I got about her in the few clips that I saw. She just felt inauthentic and like she was there for her own reasons, which is all Amber does. So it's not like I feel bad for Amber in this, but I don't know what Sharla was getting out of all this. Does anybody else know or have a theory about that? If you do, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it.
She started watching a video to herself and got emotional, blamed her weight gain on mental illnesses.
You care about others. You care about yourself. You care about words. You care about what people say to you. But you need to realize that what people say to you isn't always the truth. They don't know your wounds. They don't know your tears. They don't feel them burn whenever they go down your cheek. They don't feel that. They don't at all. That's you.
Which, I mean, it is mental, but, you know, like, I don't know. She has the power to do so, and she's just still not done it. You know, like, obviously she's done it before. She just can't do it now. I don't understand.
Right, because Amber's the victim and always has excuses. And even if she does have some, you know, mental illnesses or whatever, medical issues, mental issues, whatever it is, as an adult, she needs to address them and not use those as excuses to gain weight and to get further and more issues with her body and your health. She doesn't actually want to make things better. And that's just it. That's why everyone gets more frustrated with Amber the more times that she just makes excuses for herself.
She started talking about her childhood and living in a trailer and that she broke her ankle. I didn't remember this story. Like,
oh my God, she has told this story, I don't even know how many times. Honestly, at least I've heard it at least 4 or 5 times, but she's probably told it more than that for sure. On the scooter and the little bike and the heel, she just loves telling that story.
I remember her talking about wearing her mom's high heels all the time, but I don't remember the broken ankle part. But I guess that would make a lot of sense. But she said she broke her ankle tripping over her bike because she didn't want to listen to her mom.
Was the ankle broken, or was it a story that Amber made up to, you know, get some sympathy and attention? We'll never know. But either way, she's told that damn story so many times, starting in the Crystal era.
And take off the heels before she went and got her brother. She had a cast but refused to use crutches, so she just stayed out of school and her parents basically just helped her walk around. Okay, so...
Is that the first time that Amber experienced somebody taking care of her because of, I don't know, maybe a reason that she was making worse than it really was? Maybe it wasn't broken. Maybe it was just a little bit hurt and she saw the sympathy that she was getting and the wheels started turning in her head, and that was kind of the inspiration for the rest of her life, right? I want sympathy all the time. I want to be the victim. I want to be in pain. I want to have an illness. I want everyone's attention on me. Often it starts with one thing, right? When they're young and in their childhood and they see that because of this one thing that happened to me, all these people felt bad for me and they were helping me and doing stuff for me. I loved that feeling and I want to repeat that. I don't know. Maybe it was that moment. And that's why she just tells that story over and over again, because it was the moment she realized she could manipulate people into taking care of her.
After that, she starts explaining that we broke up, because we broke up 13 days into January. So,
all right, y'all, I'm definitely gonna have to split this one into 2 videos because I actually need to stop right now. I have to go run an errand. I've been here for a couple hours already, and I think this is a good place to stop, honestly. So we're not going to do the comment section yet. We'll do that after we finish the video. So instead, what we're going to do is I will let Mini Waffles soothe our souls before we wrap things up real quick. All right. Well, folks, we didn't even make it to the breakup yet. Sorry about it. But the point of the series is not just to remind ourselves about what happened in the Destiny era, but it's also to contrast, compare both sides of the story. So hopefully you guys are all enjoying the extra footage that I've been seeking out and adding in. So the next video in this series will, in fact, take us through the end of Destiny's breakup video, including a review of some of the viewer comments, as we usually do. So today's shout out goes to the folks on screen right now. Thank you for adding your comments. I always appreciate your point of view on what we're watching together. Also, for helping me out with the algorithm. I'd also like to thank my channel members for your ongoing support. And next up on my docket is a members only video for you. So stay tuned for that. All right, I'll leave a few videos on screen if you want to continue watching my channel. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Oh, it's obese girls. Oh my God. Obese, just obese.